everybody. Welcome to another very juicy podcast I've got tonight. This is not something I do very, very often. This is way outside my scope. This is way outside what I do. This has nothing to do with me. I have no clue about this. I have no expertise about this whatsoever. But seeing that 80% of my clients are female, 95% of those clients are over 35 and are high performers and are very successful. And I came across this lady and something about her sort of just went, Greg, you have to interview Mel because something that she's an expert in can really help your audience. And Greg, you have got no clue about this at all. And which is, I'm fair to say, I have no clue about it. Mel Buchanan, look, thank you for coming on, for doing this, because I think it's been quite valuable for my clients. And, also your clients getting you, seeing you talk about this, because I know what you do, and I've spoken to people that have just rave about you, but you're like the number one menopause expert in Australia. Like this topic here, I know nothing about. I will say I have no clue. And I think it's great from a guy's perspective. I'm going to ask some pretty stupid questions tonight because I'm coming from nowhere, but I think it's quite fascinating because most of my clients, I can't help them in this space. I have no idea about this, but that's why I'm getting you on, because you are the expert in this. And when we were talking, over the last couple of weeks about some of the things that I'm going, holy crap, people need to know about this stuff. They don't know because I just go straight on HRT, and it's just like what you've got is so good. So Mel, welcome to my podcast. Hello.
Hi. Well, thank you for having me on. First of all, it's a pleasure to actually help your audience as well as outline, because it's a very big subject. Menopause is, it hits every single woman, sorry, that in the world. Everyone that is even from the ages of 38 to 50 is going to impact not just them, that's going to impact their families, their partners, their friends, their family, and for you and for you and your wife and your your mother and sisters and aunties I should say, all women. It impacts, it actually impacts you too because of the changes that actually happen. So quite happy to be on to share my knowledge with the audience.
Let's get straight into it. Who are you? How did you get into it and why?
Well, my name is Mel Buchanan, as you said. I'm a naturopath and a natural health expert in menopause. I started my journey into naturopathy many years ago, just by being sick myself. But now that as a 49-year-old going through perimenopause myself, I realised that nobody talks about this stuff. Nobody, the women that are going through it are so confused, and they've got, inflicting stories, and they've got, misinformation, and, things that are happening to their friends aren't happening to them, but things that are happening to them aren't happening to them. And it's every single woman's transition through menopause is unique. And, one person might have one symptom and another person might have another symptom, and it's completely different. And, at this particular time in life too, there's so many people get a little bit frightened because they have symptoms like, hot flushes, have brain fog, and that onset of brain fog can actually be really quite scary. So my whole passion is to really want to educate people out there on what these symptoms are and how you can actually help yourself get over them or deal with them in a natural way, more than going down the HRT or NH menopause hormonal therapy, as it's called now as well, rather than going down that route, or even if they're on those particular pharmaceuticals, what else can they do to help them for the long term? Because it's menopause or perimenopause into menopause, it isn't just about this particular period of life. It's actually about the rest of life, because menopause is a cessation of the menstrual cycle. So we're no longer productive or reproductive, I should say, that reproductive cycle finishes. So it's from the time that you actually hit menopause, you can have another 30 or 40 years to live.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you've got another 50 years to live. And this is this time now that we've actually got to educate ourselves on how best to look after our bodies in this phase of life to be able to live a longer life, a healthier life. And what are the things that we need to do today to get us to where we need, or, to be able to get out of the chair when we're, 65, 70, 80. There's steps today that we need to learn about, because menopause is that big transition where things change.
And you're finding...
So I'm out there wanting to educate everybody on it.
Good. Are you finding more people wanting to do the natural side of things rather than the HRT? And we're not bagging HRT or anything like that. What you're saying here is the combination of everything.
Look, there's everybody's different. Like I said, everyone has a different symptomology. Everyone has different symptoms. So some people that have really severe symptoms, really debilitating hot flashes, where they can't function at work, and they've tried lots of natural therapies, and they've these of them don't work. Going down that road is quite common. That's really hard to get the right answer from a GP. Like, I'm finding there's every single woman I speak to that's gone to the doctor to ask about getting on hormone replacement therapy, or HMHT as it's called, hormone replacement therapy. So menopause hormone therapy. The doctors, the doctors themselves, the GPs themselves aren't educated enough in that area either. It's been so frustrating for a number of my patients that they've been sent off to specialists when they've got test results in their hands. It's really confusing for my patients that are out there looking for something like that, and then they come back to me going, "What do I do?" So there are a number of things we can do to mix together the natural solution as well as HRT. If you don't want to do the HRT, I'm all for that. Let me tell you, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. Doesn't work for everybody, and it's some people just don't cope on it. So teaching people how to have a better lifestyle, how to eat certain foods, how to exercise properly, how to take certain supplements for their brain health is something that I do on a regular basis, and this is really where I sit. But yes, we'll go on both sides of menopause, that if you wanted to go down that track or not. But to answer your question, whether or not a lot of people want to go down that track, everyone that walks into my office actually wants to try it actually first.
Yeah.
Up until the point where we go, okay, well, we're doing diet, we're doing, this fatigue that you've got is unrelenting. That's going to need a little bit of help. At the same time, menopause hormone treatment actually depletes a number of nutritional elements in the body. So, we found when someone's on it, we actually have to look at that and look at their nutritional status at the same time, and go, okay, well, they go down that path. We actually need to supplement this way instead of what we were doing before.
I have got a list of questions, and some of them may seem very stupid, so bear with me. I heard the most Googled, thing in relation to menopause is belly fat.
Mm-hmm.
Explain
100%.
why. Is that really true? Basically, the biggest thing people search for on Google is how to overcome belly fat and menopause.
It is. It's the most searched term in relation to menopause is how to get rid of my menopause belly fat.
Why is that?
Well, what happens during menopause is all of a sudden your estrogen declines.
Yeah.
And with that estrogen decline, you have a redistribution of fat within the body, and the fat actually all tends to accumulate here in the belly.
Yeah.
This happens for a number of reasons. I mean, it happens because of your resistance or cortisol, hating with cortisol, so your stress hormone, the stress hormone, and your reaction to stress actually can increase during this time, which actually increases the belly fat. So you've got that. During this particular time, because of that estrogen decline, you're actually also more likely to be a little bit more insulin resistant, gaining a little bit more belly fat. You're often quite fatigued during this time, so you're not out exercising the way you used to. Your joints can be a little bit stiff, so you're obviously not expending the energy with, ending up with a bit of belly fat as well. I believe that's actually visceral fat, and the visceral fat is what surrounds your organs. And it's that particular fat that can actually be quite dangerous. But the good news is that through lifestyle changes and diet changes and some exercise, particular exercise, you can actually reduce that dramatically. And it's just basically teaching people how to reduce it naturally, because you want to reduce it naturally so you can actually learn how to keep it off.
So how do you do that? What's the mechanism that, because people would say, and most people suggest have come from a very standardized Western diet, is if I start myself, I will get rid of my belly fat. And as we know, that's one of the biggest lies that are out there, right? So,
well, you're going to think if you're starving yourself, you're actually in a stress mode. So you're going to actually increase your cortisol. So increasing your cortisol again is going to cause you to have more belly fat. So it's a no-win situation when you go and starve yourself. But look, I always tell my patients, the most important thing to do to help with that belly fat, you've got a few little points to make. Making sure that you're eating properly. So you're eating a clean diet. Like when you're not eating foods that are inflammatory. So if inflammatory foods are actually going to cause you to actually be inflamed, which actually, again, causes you to have more belly fat. So eating clean foods, I always say, don't eat out of a box. Eat clean food. So you're eating your fruits and your vegetables and your lean meats. Really, really important in this life. Including nuts. Nuts are full of fiber. Like good fibers as well. Okay, lots of vegetables. Include phytoestrogen foods. So phytoestrogen foods actually mimic estrogen activity in the body. So it's like it sort of sits into that phytoestrogen foods best sit into the receptor of the estrogen receptors in the body and acts similar. To increasing those particular foods actually helps to reduce belly fat as well, because your body all of a sudden feels like you've got a little bit of estrogen there. Exercise. Strength exercise. People don't actually realize that during this phase of life, you actually decrease your muscle mass but just naturally as we age. So your muscles themselves are your fat burning machinery. So if you don't go out there and work your muscles, you've got nothing to fight your energy with, or your sort of fight your belly fat. So building muscle and building that strength within your muscle is absolutely pivotal to your achievement of losing your belly fat or reducing your belly fat. If you're not doing that, you're doing yourself a great disservice, because, as I said, your muscles are your fat burning machinery.
So you're saying strength training over cardio? Probably not.
100%. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yep. Because you remember, cardio actually stresses the body out. You're out there and you're running, puffing along, and you get nowhere on a treadmill very quickly. It's just a stress. But actually hold on some heavy weights, actually really strengthening those muscles that you've got from head to toe is the best thing you can do to actually help build those muscles. Often when you're running for a really long time, you're actually breaking down proteins, not building them up.
Wow.
So you're like your long marathon runners actually break down their caloric proteins when they're running a long run. So you've actually got to be, whether you're at home doing just starting out with body weight exercises is what I always suggest. If you don't go to the gym, you're not either you go too far to be in the gym, literally just the body weight exercises at home is a great start. A great start to learning how to do exercises or to actually help with that belly fat maintenance as we get older. Just being able to sit down in a chair and get up out of a chair, you think it's a really easy thing to do because we do it every day. It's actually the same sort of thing as doing a squat.
Yeah.
So you go and sit down in a chair and you get up. It's just teaching those basics. So, it exercise, you buy it, not like I said, not eating inflammatory foods. Not just that, but also trying to keep your stress really low too. Like your stress. Your stress is going to actually, like I said, cause that increase in cortisol, which then causes you to have belly fat. That actually causes you to be hungry as well. Causes you to crave more sugar. It's a very vicious cycle. But having
the Pringles stress, because every time I get stressed, I eat the Pringles. And that's not good for you. Those things, you just ate one and you eat the whole box of them. So
that's it.
the ice cream tub. It's straight face down into the ice cream tub, right?
Yeah.
So,
do you know what? There's actually people at the labs, who the ice cream and the Pringles that actually just work on the taste receptor. So people want more and they don't stop. So there's actual scientists that's all they work on. It's just this little tiny taste receptors. I shouldn't say it's tiny, and they're all on that big. Yeah. It's,
you mentioned sleep before. Tell us about that. That the impact that menopause can have on sleep and what that causes, in addition to belly fat and everything else.
Well, you think that you're not sleeping, you're quite stressed out during the day.
Yeah.
So, you're not sleeping, you're stressed out during the day, you're going to cause, to have a rise in cortisol. The issue is that during the onset of perimenopause, the perimenopause is where you just start noticing the symptoms. The sleep disturbances can actually be one of the initial signs that you, along with, dysregulated periods, you can actually see that you're not sleeping as all of a sudden you've got like a night sweat and you're waking up and you're drenched in bed or something like that. That happens for two reasons. So there's two hormones that are involved. You've got your estrogen and your progesterone. When your estrogen declines, it actually, can actually stop you from estrogen in the brain declines. It can actually stop you from staying asleep at night. Same sort of thing with progesterone. Progesterone doesn't have the roller coaster ride that estrogen does through perimenopause. Estrogen actually has this huge roller coaster ride, and some days you can be all fine and dandy, and next day you find that your hormones are in the toilet basically. But it's that sleep disturbance because of the decline of the hormones where your brain all of a sudden has to rewire itself to think and shut off. And it's because the estrogen's not there to make those neurotransmitters work properly that you actually get there, and you could be lying in bed for hours staring at the ceiling. So it can be one of those things that it can be one of those things it can be hard to deal with, but as I said, it's as I said before, you've got to test things out because every single person is going to be different. You might have some people might have issues. It's actually called the GABA receptor in the brain. The GABA receptor in the brain is that that where it needs just to sort of quieten down, but it just doesn't happen in that period of time. So, hot flushes keep you awake at night. Your stress keeps you awake at night. And then it's your response to stress that keeps you awake at night as well. So it's all of those mechanisms. If you don't sleep properly, your hormones don't work properly.
Yeah.
Wake up the next morning, you can be quite ready.
It's not good. Because this is, I suppose, again, I'm coming from a complete novice with this stuff. So this is where HRT won't help, will it? Because it's where the natural stuff comes in and can help with the sleep patterns, with this holistic approach to it. Like,
yeah, not exactly. Like you're often, yeah. So yes. So the menopausal hormonal treatment will work if you're could having progesterone, for instance, because progesterone is the calming hormone, but that hormone itself has a slow decline. It really has a slow decline, and you know that slow decline, you don't often notice that slow decline in the early onset of perimenopause. It's usually a bit later. But it's the estrogen. So the estrogen and the progesterone within the brain can actually help with sleep onset and sleep maintenance. So yes, they can help. That can help, but particularly progesterone, because like I said, progesterone stops that chattiness within the brain, but it doesn't actually help you with doesn't actually help, like, it doesn't actually help you deal with stress. It doesn't actually help you become knowledgeable about what's going on in your menopause journey. Your menopause, obviously, for every woman, this transition is different. Some people will do really well taking progesterone to go to sleep at night because, like I said, it's that sleepy hormone. Some people just can't do it, and can't do it for medical reasons too. It could be contraindication for them for many reasons. So that's when we look at doing, okay, let's look at doing some natural intervention here. Let's look at doing some, some bespoke supplements. So where I would compound a bespoke medicine for them, or we could do a compound, or we could do a bespoke herbal medicine, which actually helps with sleep. And that would mean mixing up different herbs that actually help with that sleep sleep case. I find working with both of them actually helps me. Working with the compound as well as a herbal medicine works a treat. It also has a lot to do with diet as well. So if you're drinking alcohol before you go to bed, guaranteed you're going to be waking up between 2 and 3 in the morning to detox the alcohol in a hot sweat. It's going to metabolism of alcohol now, once you keep this particular phase of life, is completely different. It's not like you're able to metabolize it like you were in your 30s or even your early 40s. Once you start this transition into perimenopause, into menopause, it's a lot harder. So it's I always find if you decide to have a glass of wine at night, you're actually deciding whether or not you're going to have a glass of wine, you're going to have sleep. And it's like you make that decision.
Sure.
So, and for me, it's all about making sure I sleep so I can actually work and function the next day, because you go through a night like that and you're like, wake up, heart would be beating hard.
You have to function next day because you've got a family, you've got that, you've got a partner, you've got work, you've got a career, all that kind of stuff. So tell us some of the implications of a poor experience through menopause and what that has on someone's mental health. Just like, what's the meaning of life kind of question.
Yeah. So this transition can be, everyone has to go through it. It's non-negotiable, but suffering through it is optional.
Yeah.
So if someone just chooses to do nothing and go for it and be able to work, that whole and not address it. So not address things like, in this particular phase, you're going to be needing some more vitamin D, some more calcium to help your bones, because, menopause can bring on osteoporosis. You're going to need things that actually help nourish your brain. Your brain has to rewire itself, and rewiring of that brain takes time. You end up with things like brain fog, and you all of a sudden go, oh, what's fun is that? Because you those connections that are really difficult in the brain, because the estrogen receptor's not telling the neuron to go and find some glucose, to go and make some energy, to go and find that thought that you're thinking of. So there's this whole mechanism that goes on in the brain where it has to rewire itself. So if you choose not to go down the track of actually supporting your body through menopause, there's so many detrimental things that you can actually help yourself not to go through. You can actually help yourself to be healthier. if you're not eating the right foods, you're going to end up having cardiovascular issues. Like cardiovascular issues, or the onset of cardiovascular issues starts now. So if you're not looking after yourself, that starts now. Type 2 diabetes, as I said, increased belly fat increases your risk of type 2 diabetes because you're now having insulin resistance, particularly when you've got this adiposity or this mass that's around your abdominal area. So that's a vicious cycle, that the whole increase of diabetes resistance, that higher blood sugar increases inflammation, again, more belly fat. Then you're there sucking on some wine.
I'll be thinking that, like, if you've got somebody all of a sudden they've got belly fat around them, their self-confidence and their self-belief and self-assurance would probably take a nosedive. And like you said before, they're probably doing lots of cardio to try and get rid of the body fat, but then they can't get rid of it, which makes them feel worse about themselves. Look, tell us a bit about what's like to be someone's head in that kind of situation.
It's like a mouse running on a treadmill. They go nowhere at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They think that they, and it's really difficult because all of a sudden you're feeling menopause itself actually changes how your brain works. As I said before, you've got to go through rewiring, but not just for sleep. There's certain neurotransmitters, because the estrogen's not there, that your response to stress and how you respond to that is really sensitive.
Yeah.
You're all of a sudden not just on this roller coaster of hormones, you're on this roller coaster of emotion. And you can be, the onset of things like depression and the onset of anxiety are so huge during this phase of life that often, and I've had patients sit in front of me and they've said to me, I went to the doctors because I've got all of this anxiety because I'm in perimenopause, and all they did was prescribe me some antidepressants and then see you later. And I'm like, you're going through menopause and all of a sudden your brain's not working like it used to, so he's giving you antidepressants for that. I had to listen to it, just shake my head. And your confidence can be absolutely tortured during this phase of life. All of a sudden you feel like your skin's not the same anymore. You feel like all of a sudden you've got this belly fat. You don't have the sense of the energy that you had anymore. And it's, it can be really difficult for women. And this is why I want to preach it so much, is that they're not alone, because every single woman goes through it.
Yeah, it must be hard, just like, even at stage, not for any other reason that you're going through menopause, that all of a sudden you got to change all your clothes because the clothes you fit into 12 months ago no longer fit, but you haven't done anything. You haven't changed anything, right?
You haven't changed your diet. You haven't changed your exercise routine. You haven't changed, you haven't changed things in your life. And all of a sudden you go, accept it to me.
Yeah.
And it's like these things just don't work anymore.
Yeah.
And it's why I try to teach people, this is the point in time where there are certain things that you're going to have to help yourself. You're going to have to change a few things to help you along the way.
Because then what happens, like, because if you're in that stage, you've got because then obviously the flow-on effect that is, if you're in a relationship, or not even if you're in a relationship, it's the intimacy and the sexual kind of drop off a cliff.
Yeah. Well, let's go there. If you want me to go there, because
go there, right? Because then it's a cliff face.
But for more than one reason, it just losing your libido and go like a little weight.
Yeah.
You actually during the start of perimenopause, you can actually get vaginal dryness.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to be intimate with your partner, all of a sudden it's like, that's not how it used to be. There's all these symptoms, like that's not how it used to be. If I want to try and, I want to try and be there for my partner, and it's like, well, I just have no libido. It's not how it used to be. Or like, oh no, I want to cover up because, oh, don't look at me because I've put on all this weight. You know, it can be really detrimental to a relationship. Well, not just that. It's your mental side of things too. It's like all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have this, you can get this mind about you that it's not you. It's all of a sudden you just don't feel like yourself anymore. Like you've got these emotions going on. You've got this, you know, these, then you could have some anger. You could be getting mouthy, and it's not you. It's your hormones.
Yeah.
I say, look, it's not you. It's not you. It's your hormones. You're not going crazy. It's your hormones. It's not you. It's not that you don't love your husband or your partner. It's your hormones. So
Because I would suggest this is probably a team effort in this space, that once you get to this stage, it's a reinvention of the relationship, not only from a female perspective, but collectively as a
partner.
Partner these days, to say partner.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Partner, husband,
whatever.
Wife. Yep.
It's a reinvention of the relationship into a new phase, because like you said, once what used to happen or work before may not necessarily work, and it's probably uncharted territory for the people who are in their lives who aren't going through it. Having the understanding of what's happening is not being vented on them as well too. It's the hormones doing it, because I think, especially from a male perspective, we think, oh, she's going to be batshit crazy.
Yes.
That
is the tag. That is the tag that women get. You know, and this is why, and I like talking about it, because this is often the, you know, the label that's put on menopause. You know, the girls are going crazy.
Yeah.
You know, or they're just moody.
Yeah.
Or, oh look, she's just feeling so much. She's just a bit lazy. She hasn't been in the gym, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's horrible to say, but it's the hormones.
Yeah.
It's your hormones. And my advice to partners, wives, husbands, of women that are going through menopause is to get a little bit educated about it yourself, because it's a big ride and it can last from 2 to 12 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a big journey for somebody to go through. And the partners being there, I always suggest, you know, talk about it if they want to talk about it. Be there for them, because there are going to be ups and downs. Be understanding. You know, if you find that your partner's, you know, got some issues in the bedroom, well, let's talk about it. You know, do we need to go out and buy a lubricant that works for you? You know, is there something, you know, that works for us? You know, because that is a team, a couple's issue as soon as that, you know, in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And that intimacy too, you know, even just, you know, someone's facing menopause and they're really moody. It's like not being there for them can be just as detrimental as, you know, not understanding. So, you know, I always say to my caches, talk to your husband about it. Make sure they know what's going on. You know, make sure I've told you to tell them it's not you, it's your hormones.
Yeah. So what does success look like, you know, working with someone like yourself, going through this transition and becoming what I think you said to me, it's like becoming the wise woman. This, you know, this very, very elder statesman of the world, but it's like a very much a wise medicine woman kind of feel to it, that it should be celebrated rather than, you know, as a shame kind of thing. This is a rite of passage to, like you said, another 40 years of your life. You're only halfway through your life.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, so
exactly.
tell us what success looks like for some of your clients.
It's quite funny actually, because you know, particularly in Japan, they see the woman that's gone through menopause as being one of the wise women, because they now don't need to procreate with children anymore, and they're now there to help and guide the family. So,
Yep.
you know, I sort of teach that to my patients as well. When they come in to see me, they will sit in front of me and like, you know, I'm telling you today, you're going to go menopause. Let's jump on the bus. Let's ride it.
Yeah.
And generally what will happen over a period of time, I mean, for some people it can be quite easily fixed. But for a lot of people it's like, well, okay, it's little steps that we take. If we change or try to change everything all at once,
Like an
it can be, no, it's not going to happen. So Glover's taking in baby steps.
Yeah.
So we break it down. I go, okay, what's going on? What's your major symptoms today? And we do a symptomology. Okay, well, let's look at what they are. Let's see how we treat them today. Okay, let's see. And by treating them, often we will go in there and go, okay, well, let's make a few changes to your diet. Let's make a few changes to how you move. Because if they're not in the gym, I've got to get them out walking at least.
Yeah.
So, you know, because walking actually also helps with that mindset, and that helps with that, you know, a bit of mindfulness being, you know, outside. So they'll come and see me, we'll address the major symptoms straight away. And then as we go along, we change diet, we change our lifestyle, and I teach them inspections of how to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, it's imperative for them to understand. It's a learning curve for them too. You know, it's imperative for them to gain that knowledge, to learn how to live a healthier life for the rest of their life. And they have to do it now. So it is a step-by-step process. I have a program where I go through teaching them, first of all, you know, how to deal with these symptoms and what symptoms are going to come up. And then, okay, well, how can we introduce some other estrogen foods into your diet? And what does that look like? What supplements do you need to take for, one, your longevity, and two, whether or not you're on hormone treatment, or three, all of them, you know, and what other things you've got going on today. So we've discussed that. We do discuss in your step, like I said, the movement plan and how they move, whether or not they go to the gym or whether or not we just get them walking. But there are steps and there are many goals into introducing that into their life. We generally get a big panel of bloods done, so we can actually see if there's anything else going on. Because, as I said, in this phase of life, you know, things can change quite quickly. So we make sure that we keep a check on things. There are a number of things that can change within the blood work that, you know, the doctor might scare you with, but I'll lay it out quite simply. And then from there, it's basically training them how to eat better, how to nourish their body rather than punish their body. Because that's what this is all about at this particular phase of life. It's all about getting the right amount of protein, getting the right amount of good fats in the diet, not eating, you know, an inflammatory diet in itself and, you know, processed foods, drinking enough water. You know, and if we're not drinking water, are we drinking herbal teas or are we having coffee or, you know, and then trying to teach them about how to, you know, create a great celebrity, as I call it, the sleep sanctuary. Sleep sanctuary is you know, I teach this about the sanctuary. There's a number of different things that, you know, I say about making your sleep, where you sleep, only about sleep and how, and there's little tools and tips that I give, you know, for that, to happen. So you don't end up sitting there staring at the ceiling all the time. You're not, you know, consciously awake all the time. So going through that sort of program, you know, can be, you know, 3, 6, you know, 12 months. I've actually got a patient who I've seen for quite some time going through menopause and she's well and truly out the other end, and has, you know, has made huge leaps and bounds, which is, you know, I've got something she was 27 kilos at the end of
Jeez.
just by, as I said, just by changing her diet and starting out exercising and then, you know, and not stopping. And, you know, she's now, She's now in her 60s and she's kicking goals. She's actually overseas at the
Wow.
moment.
So what's it like from a feeling perspective on the other end of, you know, transitioning or transforming or evolving, whatever you want to call it? What's the feeling that these women are actually getting out of seeing someone like you moving through this with the support that you do give?
It's just a relief that someone's listening to them. You know, it's like, oh my God, I'm not going crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's that whole, really? Wow. I had no idea. You know, that surprise and that relief that they get of, first of all, being heard, because, you know, that's a huge thing. People just don't get heard.
Yeah.
You're doing this phase of life, but you know, what you're crazy going, you really get. Being heard is a huge thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then learning how you can actually tweak things within your diet to help yourself. And then when someone says to me they've lost X amount of weight, or they're, you know, they've hit a health goal, it's like, I couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah.
You know, and for me that's a huge reward. You know, it's such a big reward for me, because it's like, you know, I can actually see that they now have the opportunity to do well for the rest of their life, because I've taught them. I've taught them how to eat better, how to move better, how to sleep properly, how to also, you know, keep your feeling really in the dumps like you can with menopause, how to actually lighten yourself up. You know, there's certain tricks that you can use to actually, you know, even just walking outside on the big raft, looking at the stars and taking in, you know, being a little bit mindful about things. So, you know, that's really, really important. But I actually had someone at their birthday say that they got their life to me. So yeah, it was really good. Yeah. So
Well, it is.
their birthday speech is at 60. And their birthday speech at 60 was that they could be here if it wasn't for me. So that was huge. Yeah.
It's clear how much it means to you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, not everyone's journey is going to be the same. Not everybody's journey through menopause is really rough. That some people just breeze through it and they're like, "Whoa, really? Okay."
I hate you.
Yeah. Oh, how did that happen? It's fantastic. But some people's journey is like, you know, their marriages have been lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so marriages have been lost. They're all, but sometimes there's a good side too, where they, you know, hit them through the whole look, they aren't music anymore.
Yeah.
But or that could also be, well, hang on a second, I'm all falling apart, and the partner's not there for them either. So you know, it's a huge transition, and I'm all about making sure that women know that they're not alone. That there are things out there that can help support them through this, and that there are things that they can do to help themselves. And there are tips and tricks that you kind of think might be silly at the end of the day. If you're not having your phone in your bedroom for one, have a nice rest, just get it out.
Yeah.
You know, get that stress out of the bedroom. It, you know, can do wonders. People, you know, have patients that, I mean, it's amazing. I don't actually feel like I just get out of bed and look at my phone at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Do you recommend getting the husband out of the bedroom at the night, single beds?
Well, it depends if he snores.
Well, I know you do have some stuff coming out, and one of them is you've got was it 5 steps to reduce belly fat? That's
Yeah,
out.
I've got 5 tips to reduce your belly fat during menopause. And I also have an empowered menopausal woman's guide, which actually goes, so the 5 tips is to, literally, I've given you 5 tips as to how to lose belly fat during menopause. And the next one is basically a huge version compared to this one, where you've got a guide, you've got diet plan, you've got a shopping list, you've got supplement suggestions,
Your exercise plan in
all
there as
wrapped.
well.
Oh yes, that's right. There's an exercise. I knew I was going to say something. An exercise plan in that. So in the exercise plan, it is for women that have not energy, and also for women that are in the gym that want to learn how to, do the best for their bodies during this phase of life. So it's quite jam-packed. It's big, but it's, it basically takes the menopausal woman hold their hand for the journey, and is able to help her out through the other side.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'll actually put the link, all that stuff, underneath in the comments. So if anyone wants to download that stuff, literally just go and grab it. I think it's a free download, so
it is. Yeah. The five tips for belly
opportunity.
beat it.
Yeah. Okay, free.
That's
So,
I mean, it's quite well too. It's not like it's a good fancy, the information actually is quite detailed.
cool. All right. So where can people get in touch with you, Mel, if they want to have some further information about what you offer your products? I know, Lacey, your flat chat, you are up to your eyeballs in clients, but how can they get in touch with you? Because you might be putting up some group programs soon.
I've got plenty of stuff coming out.
There's power in the community of women, not just one-on-one with you, but the power of small, like mastermind groups or small community groups, where you got women coming together and sharing their stories about, my God, I hate this, and you got this support.
The women's community for was it's essential. It's essential. You need to have a community around you, because you're not alone. As with unread messages, you're not alone going through this. So, I've got lots of stuff coming up. I've got a big online program coming up that's still being put together. The community, who wants to find me on Instagram, I'm actually at the Healthy Edge. It's my Instagram, which is the Healthy Edge. Says V _healthy _edge _.
I'll put the link in.
Can't believe that. Can't believe can't find it. Yeah. I've got Facebook pages, Mel, and the Healthy Edge.com.au, where you'll be able to actually get on there, send me a message, and in an appointment.
Well, this has been enlightening. Like I have no clue about this, so I don't. But I think it's fascinating, and I think it's something that needs, more stuff out there about this, because this is a rite of passage. This is something that's quite a part of, becoming that wisdom woman, becoming that medicine woman, becoming that, that very wise kind of something to be celebrated. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think the more that people of my sex and gender know about this, the better off that we'll be too, because then we can help, through this journey, because I think it's at this time when you can actually grow closer as a couple because of the transition in through this space. And that's where a lot of men can step up in this role to provide that supportability and show their strength and the courage and supportability to their female partner, who's obviously going through an emotional time, which is not their fault. And I think people need to realize that. And that's one of the big messages I think out today, is that this is a hormonal change. You are not yelling at anybody because you just like the hell are yelling at people. This is something that is not your fault. And sometimes you just can't control it because of the ups and downs. And men don't get it.
The roller coaster ride. Yeah.
Yep. We have no clue.
Yeah. And not only that, but the anxiety, I think, and the anxiety within the relationship, women really struggle with. So if like you said, if you're there for your wife, and the listeners are there for their partners, wives, through this transition, just to understand that it's a big shift for them.
Yeah.
You know, it's often being touted as being the second puberty in
Yeah.
life. And like, you know, I don't know if you remember going through puberty yourself growing up, but going through puberty all those years ago, was quite difficult. This is, I would and think this is probably more difficult than that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
most
And I think,
definitely.
and if, like I say, you give females the confidence to go through this, and that's the big thing, is you give them the support and
Yeah.
the confidence to come out the other end in a
Yeah.
way. So,
Yeah. And
look,
that's what it's all about. It's making sure that people know that they're not alone, that there are tools out there to help them get through this. It doesn't have to be full of pharmaceuticals.
yeah,
You know, it doesn't have to be that way. There is a natural pathway to actually help yourself, because you know, there's so much more likely, and it's you've got to learn how to look after yourself and change a few lifestyle habits, particularly if you've got, you know, a big career, a big load on your plate. You really have to learn how to diffuse stress a whole lot better than you do, you know, than you do in your 30s. During your 40s and 50s, it's, you know, it's essential. So yeah,
well,
anyone wants to give me a
massive,
buzz and that can need my help, I'm there for them.
massive thank you for this.
Thank you
Because
very
it wasn't
much.
what's left to field for what I usually talk about spiritual crap. But I think this is important, and that's something I will always give to my audience, my listeners, and my crew, is that there's something that I think can really help. I'm just happy just to share and have people on it like yourself who do this. So, you know, massive thank you.
No, thank you.
All right, guys. If you need a better hold of Mel, I'll put the links and details below. But if you would like more of Mel, please let us know and put your questions in, because I'm happy to have her on again. And because I'm getting education through this too. Don't worry about that. So my wife is very happy for this. And please, because I if you want to have her on again, we can fire your questions in, because I'll ask specific questions to her. Because
Oh,
she's
it's such a
happy
big
to have this.
topic.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
wild, it's wild. So, and we can go further. But yes, thank you for listening, and we will see you again.